Hi, I'm Asha. Welcome to Uganda. I'm here in my father's house visiting him for a couple of months. This is Lake Victoria behind me, and it's kind of beautiful. I'm escaping the European winter, and I have to say I'm extremely glad. Welcome to this Q&A. I just asked on Instagram for you to send in your questions. So this one comes from Fat Ben Slim 85, and he says, what is the one advice you have for learning any new skill? Now this is a great question because it kind of applies to any skater, any level and any skill. And let me tell you what I observe in most people when they start learning a new skill. They pick the skill and then they start having a go. So they start doing the whole skill over and over and over, and they keep doing that in the expectation that with some practice it's going to come. Now it may come, and if you are extremely gifted, it will come quickly. But for the majority of people, that is a very slow and long process. It involves trial and error, which means trying it and figuring out what went wrong, what was right, and keeping repeating, okay? Now that is not, in my opinion, the fastest way. It's also not the safest way, and you're much more likely to fall doing it that way. So my advice is, I believe that if you haven't yet got a new skill, the reason is you need to acquire all the different constituent parts of that skill. So that might be particular weight distribution on one foot, particular edge that you need to be on, inside, center, or outside, particular things that your upper body, your torso, and your head are doing. So all of these individual things need to be happening kind of simultaneously, right, for a new skill to happen. So I believe that the best, the fastest, the safest, and the kind of most fun way is to learn those bits individually, right? And that means breaking a skill down into its constituent parts, learning each of those parts separately, hopefully with a drill or an exercise or a particular movement that kind of muscle memories that part of the skill. And as you work through it, you then add those bits together, and then ta-da! Voila, you then hopefully have the full skill. And you've then acquired that without having to fall over tons of times, potentially hurt yourself, injure yourself. And I think that also gives you a sort of a progression where you can say, a week later, you can say, now I'm halfway through, or I've learned the first two parts, right? So I think it gives you this feeling of progress much more than the trial and error method, okay? So what I've just described there is basically the Skatefresh method, and the Skatefresh method is breaking things down and learning things in progressions. So progressions are where you have, a series of different exercises to learn. Now, be under no illusions, the tutorials that I usually share on YouTube, rarely do I give you the whole progression, right, sequence. Usually I give you one, maybe two. They're in isolation, they're not necessarily in the right order, and I'm glad that that's helpful for you, but it's really only on my website that I share the full progressions of all the skills, okay? So don't take my word for it. I want you to test out this progression method. So if you go to skatefresh.com, there are a bunch of free lessons with the full progressions that I offer for you there. So skatefresh.com, click on online learning, then choose whether you're inlines or quads, and then choose which level you are and which theme and skill that you like, okay? So let me know in the comments below which skill you've picked and how it's going with that process. Can you hear the birds? We've got a lot of nests happening. And I'd really like to know, do you feel any differences learning with this kind of progression method rather than the traditional trial and error method? I'd really love to know. So that's my Christmas gift to you all. So check out skatefresh.com and pick which full lesson you want to learn, and then take it in stages, tick them off, yeah, and I hope that then becomes a much more satisfying way to learn, and hopefully without any falls or injuries. So take care wherever you are. Merry Christmas to you, and I'm feeling extremely lucky to be here. I'm going to carry on giving you a few more Q&As over the next few days. Take care.